2024 saw the Brisbane Lions win the AFL Premiership. But who will win the 2025 AFL Premiership? Will it be the Brisbane Lions, and will they go back-to-back? Will it be a side like the Swans, who have competed in 2 recent grand finals and unfortunately not got the ultimate success? Will it be the Pies? Everyone loves the Pies. You either love them or you hate them. And they're a side that is up and about at the moment, bringing in Dan Houston, Tim Membry, and Harry Perryman to really boost their strong side that has the Dacos brothers and so much more. Will it be the Giants, who will potentially win? If they were to win, they would win their first ever AFL Premiership. Will the Orange Tsunami do what they've never done before, led by star players Toby Green, Tom Green, Josh Kelly, and co? Will it be the Pies' arch rivals in the Blues? Will Charlie Curnow, Harry Mackay, and Paddy Cripps lead their side to what their fans have been wanting for so long? Will it be a side like Fremantle, a side that has brought in some key recruits throughout this trade period, including Shai Bolton, but players like Hayden Young, Caleb Sarong, Andy Brayshaw and co will be a key part if they are to reach their first ever AFL Premiership? Or will it be the Saints, a side that a lot of people have been writing off for so long? They have done what many sides haven't done. But the Saints want to write their own story. They want to finish the damn story with the longest drought of a current AFL club since their most recent premiership. You're going to be led by the skipper, Jack Steele, Callum Wilkie, Rowan Marshall, Jack Sinclair, Max King, Jack Higgins and co. They will have absolutely a say in what they're going to do. And of course, key recruit, Jack McRae, the inaugural Scoops medal winner. Or will it be everyone's favourite side, Hawthorn? They may have brung in some key recruits, but that doesn't mean they're guaranteed anything. Strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. 2025, who will be the AFL Premier? Now, please welcome the best AFL podcaster going around, the host of Kick It to Scoops, the sole admin of Scoops. It is Scoops. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kick It to Scoops for season 2025. We've got a lot to talk about on this episode, the first episode of season 2025. Now, some topics we're going to go through today. I'm obviously going to be going through my season predictions, my ladder, my Coleman medal, my Brownlow, my surprise All-Australian, my breakout player, my bold call, which is a bold call for a reason. We obviously have Scoops Goes Bang in a preview opening round, and just any final thoughts that I may have. I can exclusively reveal that the Scoops AFL medal will, like always, be at the end of the year. So no episode will I be talking about, my Scoops medal votes. I won't be giving any indication of my votes. Obviously, Tom Green won last year. Just got to speak to Tom Green, which was fantastic. The inaugural winner, Jack McRae, Jack Sinclair's won as well. Took Miller's won as well. Who will join those legendary names and become the next Scoops medal winner? Now, also, my Rolling All-Australian will possibly happen midway through the year, maybe once, if at all. I'll still make that conclusion myself. Obviously, Team of the Week will be on this episode every single week. But yeah, please subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on the bell for all notifications. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Alrighty. Oh, it's time. You've all waited for this segment for a very long time. It's the world famous segment. Scoops Goes Bang. Wow, Scoops. First AFL episode of 2025, Kick It to Scoops. What are you going to talk about? Well, I'm going to be banging on about people complaining about the injuries in the AFL in terms of saying that it's because of the preseason being shorter and everything like that, and the surface of some grounds. Unfortunately, we've seen some big names get some injuries, whether they're long-term, short-term, or months. Errol Goulden, Max King, Zach Butters, Hayden Young, Marcus Bontempelli, just to name a few, are some of the big names in the AFL competition that have been injured and will miss months. or weeks due to recent injuries. But what I'm going to say is this, plain and simple. Unfortunately, injuries happen at any point in time. It could happen at training. It could happen in a game. It could happen just walking down the stairs. It can happen doing absolutely anything. So to blame the surface of training grounds or to blame a shorter preseason, I think is pretty harsh, if I'm being brutally honest. Unfortunately, injuries can happen at any point in time. Sure, they happen partially because there's a shorter preseason. I'm not doubting that. But injuries can happen whether it's a long preseason. Then people will say, oh, it's a longer preseason. They're doing too much. And now when it's shorter, they're not doing enough. And they're getting injured more and more. I mean, I don't think anyone can win with this argument. It's unfortunate that's what's happening. But unfortunately, it's just happened. And I'm sure those sides that are missing some players will have to work around that for the time being of those players being out. But if that's going to be what people are going to say is the reason why their team won't play finals or won't finish as high as they think they will, purely because of a shorter preseason, lift your game. Come on. It's not because of that. Now, that was the short, sharp return of the world-famous segment, Scoops Goes Bang. Now, as I said, this episode will look a little bit different to how future episodes will look, as there's been no games to talk about yet. We've had some practice matches. Collingwood destroyed Richmond throughout the week, just gone. The Saints, unfortunately, got beaten badly by Port Adelaide, but beat the Blues the week prior. Now, one thing I want to actually kind of include in Scoops Goes Bang, but actually just talk about quickly, is people say preseason is just preseason, but I would rather have winning momentum than be losing. And how a lot of people have been 50-50 on this, I feel. Sure, it doesn't matter if you don't win a preseason game. Like, if you lose by 2 points, like, big deal, right? That's not the fact of whether you win or lose. But you don't want to be losing by 50 points in consecutive games or once, or losing to a side you shouldn't beat if your best team is in and so is theirs, or whether theirs isn't. Like, the argument of it's just preseason, sure, the result doesn't matter whether you win or lose, but you don't want to be getting smashed. I don't know how many times I have to repeat this to people. Like, for example, St Kilda beat Carlton 2 weeks ago with 12 of our best 22 out. Carlton only had 2, and Paddy Cripps went off at half time. So besides that, you know, Carlton fans should be worried with that. But then they just come out this week and won. So, you know, you still want good momentum, because if Carlton have done the opposite and lost to the Saints badly in the second game, then Carlton fans will be worrying. They've got a bit of injuries now at the moment. Now, that Saints game and in the previous weeks, Pitnet, just one that comes to mind. Newman was obviously out for the year, which is unfortunate because he's a great halfback, is Newman. Obviously, they had some few players as well. Jagger Smith, their top draft pick, unfortunately done his ACL in the Saints practice match. We wish him all the best. Probably was going to be my rising star prediction for this season, but unfortunately now he cannot win that, as he won't unfortunately be playing this year. So that means I've had to change my rising star prediction, as I honestly, since he was drafted, I thought that was going to be my choice, but now I'll have a new choice, which you'll hear very, very shortly. Now, also, if you want to join my Super Coach Draft League, I'm going to write the code on here for you, but it's 300-210. 300-210. AFL Super Coach Scoops Fan Club League. So if you want to join my Super Coach League, you've got basically a week or so to do so. So 300-210. 300-210. For people listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, subscribe to my YouTube channel, my Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube, which you're listening to right now, or Spotify or Apple Podcasts. So that's the code to join my Super Coach. I will not be revealing my Super Coach team until round 1 has been completed, as I'm pretty confident that Super Coach officially doesn't count until round 1 starts. So after opening round, If you think I'm going to reveal my Supercoach team, you're kidding yourself. I'm just not going to do that. Why would I want to reveal my team early so people can copy? I just want to remind people, because some people tell me, oh, you didn't do too well last year. No, I didn't for my standards. I still finished in the top 20%, which is pretty good overall when you think about it. And I won the weekly prize about 2 years ago when I finished the best person for one round. Round 5, I think it was, a couple of years back. So, yeah. And I won the prize money and everything like that for that round. So, absolutely, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to Supercoach, footy, and everything for that matter. Now, this is a footy podcast, but go and check out my cricket vlog, my Scoops cricket vlog, the second last game for the season. For the first time ever, I got a 5-wicket haul in cricket. The last 2 years, I felt really good for my bowling, had more opportunities to bowl, and got 5 wickets yesterday, and it was filmed on a camera. So go and check that out. That video is already on the channel, so go and check that out. I would really, really appreciate if you could watch it, because it's in my top 2 cricket vlogs of all time. That would go along with the one where I made 64 not out, and we were chasing about 380, and we won. And I got 3 wickets in that game, got a catch, and made 62 not out. Yeah, best game ever I've been a part of. And yesterday's game would be one of them as well from Saturday. And we won that game, as I said. Beat the same team twice this year, which is great. And now passed them on the ladder, which is awesome. Now, let's go. You know what? Let's preview opening round first and then end with a bang with my predictions, my season predictions for the AFL. So, where are we? Opening round. Thursday night at the Gabba. It's Brisbane hosting Geelong. Now, there is a weather warning for this game. As of this recording, the game is going as planned. Apparently, we have up to 60 mil of rain. But there's apparently a cyclone warning. So, for everyone in that area, stay safe. If this game was to go ahead, I feel like the Brisbane Lions will get the job done by 15 points. Obviously, we don't have the teams yet, so I don't know who's playing and who's not. But I'll go Brisbane there. Friday night at the SCG, we will have Sydney hosting Hawthorn. I'm going to go the Swans in this one by, at the SCG, the Swans by 15 points. Saturday, we have Gold Coast and Essendon at People First Stadium. I'm going to go the Gold Coast Suns to win this one by 27 points against the Bombers. And on Sunday, 3:20 at Giant Stadium. It is GWS hosting Collingwood, 3:20 Victorian time. I'm going to be tipping the Pies in this one by 37 points. As the Giants' form in the preseason was concerning. I know they're at home. I know I had them where I did in my ladder prediction. I was just about to tell you where I had them, and I haven't actually spoken about it yet. But their preseason form was bad. The 2 games they got smashed in against the Swans and the most recent one on the weekend was not great for the Giants. So I don't think they're in great form at the moment, but I have faith that they can pick it up very quickly, and it may start with the Pies in opening round on the weekend on Sunday. All right, so now let's go through my season ladder predictions and season predictions. So, first off, let's go through my ladder predictions. Now, I'll have the graphic up at the end of this. So, I'm going to start from 18th all the way to 1st, and I might tell you why. In 18th place, I have the Tigers. I mean, I think it's self-explanatory. A lot of young players. They lost some experienced players, Bolton, Baker, Graham, just to name a few. Dustin Martin retired, Rewald and Cochin in previous seasons. So I think they're in trouble. They may not win a game. I can see a random game they might win. It might be against an Essendon or a Gold Coast or an Adelaide or even a West Coast or North. I don't see them beating anyone outside of those teams I just mentioned. Personally, I don't think they'll win a game. So, yeah, I'm going to stick with that. I don't think they're going to win a game at all. One at best. So, Richmond, obviously, last. I know they got Sam Laylor, Josh Smiley, will be good draftees, Harry Armstrong as well. But when I've seen some people do best 22s for Richmond, I could say maybe 5 or 6 players deserve a game, and everyone else fringe players or not even on a list at other clubs. So that's a bit concerning for the Tigers. In 17th place, I have gone. This spot was really hard. I've gone the Eagles. Was contemplating North Melbourne, but I went with West Coast. I know they played a practice match on the weekend and West Coast just won, but that doesn't really matter for this. I think they're capable of passing North Melbourne and maybe a few others, but I have them in 17th. They brought in Matt Owies, who I'm a big fan of, and I think will be a great addition to the Eagles side. Obviously, they brought in Jack Graham as well and Liam Baker. I think the Eagles will do okay for their stands. Like, it wouldn't shock me if they went up to somewhere like 14th or 13th at best, but more likely 17th is my spot I got them for now. But they may win 6 games this year, and that would be a good thing for the Eagles. Obviously, new coach, Andrew McWalter, former Tiger and former Saints player. He's been a coach as well. I think he will get them to be around the same spot on the ladder, but I think they'll improve on the field. They won't be getting smashed much. They'll be in a lot of games. They may fade out late, but I feel like they'll go okay this year, despite me having them at 17th. In 16th place, I've got North Melbourne. I mean, as I just hinted at, it was going to be North. Toss of the coin of West Coast. North, I know they've got Sheasel, Finn O'Sullivan, and some other players they've drafted. Nick Larkey needs some help up forward, but yeah, it's going to be a bit of an interesting watch for the Roos in 2025. Some people have them going up the ladder and catapulting up. I don't see that. That's ridiculous, to be honest. But here we are. In 15th, I've got the Bombers. I don't think they'll do anything at all. Completely overrated are the Bombers. What have they done? Not much. Talk about a club that disappoints their fans all the time. They haven't won a final for over 7,000 days. Could they shoot up a bit higher than where I have them at 15th? Sure, they can. But they will not make the 8, the Bombers. But that's not really a bold call, and that's not my bold call. In 14th place, I have the Gold Coast Suns. Again, the hype isn't real for me with the Suns. I feel like they can go around 9th. I don't see them making the 8. This would have to be the year they make it. Otherwise, Hardwick may be in trouble for the previous year. Not the previous year, the next year and beyond. Considering they said he was a saviour and they wrongfully sacked Stewie Dew from being the coach because they thought Hardwick was a better coach and a better fit for the Suns. And, well, that hasn't worked so far, as they didn't make finals in Hardwick's first year when they all thought it was going to happen. Leo Lombard, their best young draft, he's out for a few months, as I exclusively revealed on my channel recently. About 4 months is likely outcome. But obviously that can change with surgeons' opinions and everything like that. But that's the talk right now. So in 13th place, I'll have the Melbourne Football Club. If it wasn't for their easy fixture, I feel like I would have them lower and maybe like 14th or 15th and maybe 17th. Maybe 16th, sorry, not 17th. Calm down, Melbourne fans. But their easy fixture, they got the easiest fixture. They got 3 of the bottom 6 bracket teams twice, and they got the 2 lowest teams in the top 6 and middle 6 bracket. They got the bottom teams, so 6th and 12th, and then 3 of the bottom 6. So I feel like they're going to win those double ups against the 3 bottom sides, and they'll probably pinch a few in the middle part and maybe 1 or 2 at best at the top, which puts them around this spot on the ladder. So I have the Demons in 13th. I could see them probably going as high as 10th, but that's where I have the Demons at. In 12th place, I've got the Crows. Now, I was going to have them about 14th below Melbourne and Gold Coast, but their preseason games have impressed me with how they played. They won. They beat the Brisbane Lions in Brisbane. They were with it the whole way through. They smashed the Power the week before, which isn't so easy to do. I don't rate them at all. I still don't think they'll make the 8. The hype for them is ridiculous. Last year, people were saying top 4, let alone top 8, which I thought that was ridiculous. Then Kane Corns and people like that were saying top 4 for the Crows last year. And this year, people are hyping them up again. But I could give them credit for their preseason form, but to wait and see. Obviously, Matt Crouch was a good addition to their midfield last year. Rory Laird played in the back line. Going back to the old play, Rory Laird playing as a half-back. Out of that midfield, Peatling's coming into the side, as is Isaac Cumming as well, and Alex Neil-Bullen from the Demons for the Crows. So they're their 3 recruits. And Sid Draper, their top draft pick. Will he play consistently? Matthew the coach of the Crows, you know, said he's no guarantee to play. They think he's capable, but they're not sure if they're going to play in round one, which doesn't help people's super coach sides either, Matthew. So in 11th, I have the Hawks. I mean, I won't say too much now, but they had an easy fixture last year. Okay. They had an easy fixture. Yes, Battle and Barras, 2-star recruits, but they're going to get a harder fixture. So 11th for me. In 10th place, this may come to a shock to some, if not everyone. In 10th place, I have my Saints. Yes. Jack McRae coming in is fantastic. Toby Travaglia, Alex Taru. Now, we're capable of making finals, but injuries to Max King recently. Mason Wood's only just come back. Cooper Sharman hurt himself on the weekend. Losing Tim Membry to the Pies when they did not offer him a contract. I revealed that before it was official and before it was public knowledge. I exclusively revealed that. Collingwood and Brisbane were interested, and Collingwood got Timmy Membry on a 2-year deal, and he's killed it so far in the 2 practice matches for the Pies, and he will this season. But yeah, it's going to be a good one if the Saints stay injury-free. But the midfield isn't as strong as I feel as it should be. If Jack Sinclair is going to play midfield, I feel like we can compete better. But if he's playing halfback, it'll help him and our backline. But I feel like the midfield needs Jack Sinclair in there. And with Dougal Howard out at the moment for foot injury, you know, we really need him in the forward line, in the back line, sorry. With Josh Battle gone to the Hawks, I'm a bit worried with the Saints with that position as well. Cal Wilkie will be a star. They've tried Liam O'Connell there in the practice matches, did right against Carlton, playing on the wing. So there's going to be a lot of young players playing for the Saints, and some of those players probably shouldn't be in the best 22. So I'm a bit worried at the moment with the injuries we've got to our experienced players and our key position players, King, Sharman, and Howard. I'm just really not sure how we're going to go, but if they come back, I'll be a lot more confident. For now, Saints in 10th place, but we can easily play finals. In 9th place, I got Geelong. I never understand the hype for Geelong. You know, a lot of people have them first, and like they didn't even make the grand final. They didn't win the granny. They didn't make the granny. I know they were one step away from a granny, but like a lot of people are so confidently having them first. I'm not even sure they're locked to be in the top 8. Yeah, obviously they are capable of that. I'll have them outside. I got them in 9th place. So now we go to the top 8.